Fort Greene. It's a little slice of heaven. We got BAM over there, and you know, after you see some arty stuff, you can go to the smoke joint, get your hands dirty with some barbecue. Ugh, and what about this park, right? I can't believe we get to live here.
Over here you've got Brooklyn Flea, where you can buy expensive maps, antique maps, old folded maps, rolled up maps, and they let you eat outside, which is pretty cool.
I love living in Fort Greene so I can be a part of the new black arts renaissance. It means so much to me that I pay $3,600 a month for a studio. Right on.
When I first moved here from Park Slope, my friends were like, oh, you're moving to Murder Avenue? It's actually called Myrtle Avenue. Real Fort Greenians know that. What's so scary about a myrtle? It sounds cute to me.
I mean, let's not get it twisted. It can still get real in Fort Greene. I mean, I know Spike Lee moved to the Upper East Side, but who can blame him? This place is straight street, brother.
It's not that bad, though. You just need to know how to carry yourself. You know, be street smart. It's that cool pose. I'm sorry. Let's try that again. You just have to be street smart. It's that cool pose. Come on, shut the camera off, shut the camera off.
I'm always waiting for those Spike Lee block parties, you know, Michael Jackson, Prince, whatever, all those kind of different cool themes he does. I post up somewhere and I just try and look as cool as I possibly can so that, you know, Spike sees me, because I say this without any ego whatsoever, but I think that I could be the next Michael Rappaport.
You got Havana Outpost, great African food there.
That's Cuban food.
Well, you've got Madiba, total legend in this neighborhood. Oh God, every time I smell that African food that I love so much, it just reminds me of every other time I guess I've walked by that restaurant.
It's just good to be part of that black experience, you know?
Jesus.
Well, not the black experience. I feel like I'm at Epcot Center. I can just soak in the culture, step outside my white privilege, walk that walk, talk that street talk.
You know, there's these Wesley Snipes parties on Washington Street at his house that like are a big deal, and I really want to get into. That's where Spike Lee met his lawyer. That's where Chuck D met his lawyer. That's where Rosie Perez met her lawyer. So, you know, I really need to get into one of those parties.
I don't think those parties still happen.
Man, I really need a lawyer.
Larry Fishburne, Chris Rock, Kevin Eubanks, Jill Scott Heron, Nelson George. They all live in Fort G, and they are all pursuing their art by any means necessary. And now they get to add me to the mix, Becky McIntosh.
Fort Greene reminds me of Paris in the 1880s or Greenwich Village in the 1950s. I hope I just didn't miss it, you know?
I think you did.
Because talk about Mo Betta blues. Welcome to Gowanus, home of the legendary Gowanus Canal. This water's so fucked up, the feds had to get involved. But you know how the feds go. You've seen the X-Files.
Gowanus is a really raw space right now where like anything feels possible. So you can play shuffleboard or throw axes or climb rocks. It does smell like the devil's compost, but it's like the ultimate youth destination.
Yeah, it's really great to be able to come to Gowanus to blow off some steam after work with coworkers. Tonight we finally got reservations at that place that lets you waterboard one of their waiters, and like $3 Narragansetts.
Wait, what?
I know, like $3. That's crazy.
Yeah, they got the nude fight club, the tuxedo fight club, the third grade fight club, the chicken fight club. Although they also have a cockfighting place, so you know, it's one or the other. Oh, and speaking of fucked up shit, I hear there's even a place where they got indoor mini golf. Yeah, I know.
There's this one place that I went to where you can test out makeup on little like rodents and animals. So like they gave me a bunny, and then I could like put blush on its fur and like brush it, and then like dye its hair different colors and put mascara on its eyelashes. And the rabbits have the littlest eyelashes, so if you happen to hurt the rabbit, they'll like take it away and like dispose of it, and then they'll like give you another rabbit and you can try again. I'm gonna go there for my bachelorette party, actually.
There's this one spot where you can fight a cop from the local precinct. I think it's like $20, so like whatever, but they have this killer taco truck.
Oh, and there's this one place where you can get your blood transfused with like any animal that you want. I'm talking donkeys, burros, jackasses, literally any animal you can think of.
So what'd you go with?
I went with the raccoon blood. I don't know if I'd do that again.
So there's supposed to be this amazing virtual reality cafe around here where you can like upload your brain, but it's like a one-way trip kind of thing, and then you just like live on the internet.
Well, what do they do with your body?
The canal's right there.
Is it me or is it like really bright out right now?
There's this one place that is just like too extreme, even for me, and I went to the furry orgy behind the Whole Foods. It's like this meat market, but there are kids there too, and they have like this drink that's like a frozen rosé. They call it a frosé. I'm sorry, I can't. But yeah, it's that place.
Ooh, and while you're here, you should definitely try this one thing. I'd never done it before, but it's heroin. It's really fun.
Is there a place?
What?
Are you talking about?
No, just like in general. It's really fun. It's heroin.
It's only a matter of time before this place is developed to look like a Dubai Sky Mall. So I say try the autoerotic asphyxiation place while you still can. Oh, and don't forget to try the righteous pork sliders they've got too. And maybe try those first, you know, just in case. Carroll Gardens, one of the last holdouts of Italian culture here in New York City. Here, we still make a nice cannoli, one you can take to the park and lap at for a bit.
Little Italy, get real. Arthur Avenue, take a hike. Bensonhurst, never heard of it. Staten Island, isn't that in Florida?
You know why they call it Carroll Gardens, don't you? Because there's garden in every house, stupid. Anyway, the good thing about the gardens is they dug them real deep. You can literally bury a body.
Wait, what?
Ah, that was so long ago.
It's not like the old days. We didn't have froyo places or tiki bars. And the cocaine you guys are using, ugh. I'd rather sniff my dead dog's ashes. The cocaine in our day was something magical. Hey, you know, my friend Jake Mandeville used to sell it down 493 President Street, apartment 4F.
Probably shouldn't say.
I think he still might.
You know, it's a commonly held myth that the Colombo and the Gambino families declared Carroll Gardens a neutral zone. But, you know, I guess they never got the memo because they both paid me to take out a guy right over there. December 6, 1977, I think. His name was Jeff McIntosh.
You talking about murder?
Yeah. Can you believe that they both paid me to do it? These fucking numbskulls got to get their act together.
You ever been over here to Frankie Spatino's over here? Yeah, everybody loves them. Why doesn't he tell everybody who taught him how to make olive oil? Or who taught him how to grill a fish? Fucking beautiful Branzino. Or why doesn't he tell everybody who let him use her tub for 3 days while he disposed of a body using lye? Put that in your cookbook. You never hear from him.
The neighborhood sure is changing. You know, just the other day, I went up to this guy on the street. I gave him a bag and I says, "Hey, sir, you mind holding on to this for a few days? I'll be back to pick it up in a week." The guy looks in the bag, sees it's a gun, then he looks at me like I'm crazy. I mean, what is that about?
I went over here to the CVS the other day. I said, I want to speak to the manager. I go to the manager. Hey, got a nice little national retail chain going on here. It'd be a shame if anything were to happen to it. 20 minutes later, I'm walking out with a flu shot and an extra rewards card. You know, and now I'm the chump.
Really seems the old way of life is dying out. I weep for the future of this neighborhood. Things used to be simpler. You get to know your neighbors, your kids would play with their kids. Now, you don't even know who you're ripping off.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really miss the lifestyle though. I threw out my back in 1986 moving this deadbeat Dave Mitchell. Ugh, I ended up just having to kick him into the canal. It's too much. You know, no one ever tells you that it's hard work to murder someone and then cover it up for 40 years.
You know there's no statute of limitations on murder, right?
Well, my life's over.
Ditmas Park, Brooklyn. When you want to live in Brooklyn but you want to pretend that you don't, maybe you want to live in some big wooden Victorian castle like you're the Queen of England or something.
A lot of people like to call this Prospect Park South, but it's Ditmas, baby. And now all of the real estate companies want you to think that you're by the park and, well, you are by the park, but everyone in Ditmas already knows that. It's no secret. Maybe look at a map before you buy a house.
The thing about Ditmas Park is we've got the best pizzeria in all of New York. Guy Fieri comes, Mayor de Blasio attends, the young Pope comes. Of course, I'm talking about famous Fat Rob's Italian cheese wheels.
Legend has it Fat Rob fled Sicily during the war, not to necessarily escape fascism or anything like that. He just wasn't very popular. But he was supposed to perform at a charity event for a local orphanage. It was a whole thing. He hopped on a boat instead. But you know what? Their loss is our gain. I mean, great pizza, I'm not gonna lie.
Apparently, they tried to make Fat Rob walk the plank a few times because he wouldn't shut the hell up, but now, passenger ships back then didn't really have planks, so they just had to use whatever the hell they had lying around.
Fat Rob opened his pizzeria in 1969 as a way of avoiding the draft. But that's not a real thing, so he hired a young boy to go instead of him. But he named a slice of pizza after him. It has peanuts on it. Young Timmy was allergic to peanuts. Nobody likes Fat Rob.
The local Italians, they wouldn't let Fat Rob call it pizza. So he had to come up with his own term. So he started calling it Italian cheese wheels.
It's normally about a 2-hour line to get a slice because Fat Rob loves to take his time, painstakingly adorning each individual slice with fresh herbs he stole from the farmer's market. He also only takes credit cards and likes to call each credit card in individually. So, yeah, bring a book.
Fat Rob's Italian cheese wheels are so good that they had a Michelin star at one point. However, the star was revoked when it was discovered that it wasn't so much a restaurant as a popular hangout for rats that occasionally served pizza. But it says it is not pizza on the sign. Still, that's the first and last time I'll be asking for food advice from a tire company.
I think famous Fat Rob's Italian cheese wheels is a great example of the American dream. I mean, you can be super unlikable, come to New York City, meet people just as unlikable as you are who are willing to spend $8 for a slice of pizza. I know they like to say that there's a sucker born every minute, but right here in deep Brooklyn, I say there's a sucker born every 10 seconds. Oh, there's another one.
I can think of someone Fat Rob is popular with, though. The IRS. Yes. The IRS shut him down in 1981, 83, 88, most of the 90s, 2001, and I think he's shut down right now. But that's Fat Rob for you.
I think Fat Rob means well, you know? Well, actually, I have to get back to you on that. Oh, he did sponsor a Little League team once, and then he made them throw the championship game over a gambling bet. It's the farthest they've ever gotten. Oh, he did take them out for pizza afterwards, and then got mad when no one had any credit cards. So I don't know, maybe he means well.
Being an artist in Dumbo is the best. If you're hungry, you have Grimaldi's Pizza. If you want to take a ride, you can go in the carousel. If you want to paint something, brother, we have sunsets every day in Dumbo.
The thing I like about Dumbo is that it's like its own little world. You know, the people up there, they drive over us or they take the subway and they never really think about us. But I say it's better, down where it's wetter, under the bridge.
I probably shouldn't be telling you this, but Dumbo actually stands for Down Under the Manhattan Bridge Overpass. Just some fun local trivia that they like to share with the local artists during orientation.
What orientation?
The Two Trees property orientation. The people who pay us to live here.
Payment? I don't know what she's talking about. I've been a real artist living here since 1994. No one's paying my rent. Hey, do you want to buy painting though? I did it with my own blood. And it's of a sunset. Get it?
Yeah, I can't really comment on that. I don't want to rock the boat, you know? They tell me to paint a West Elm mural and I just do what I'm told. Like a good little artist boy. Sometimes I'll paint a little bird in the mural just to feel alive. They'll paint over it, but I'll know it's there.
Oh, yeah, there's nothing in Dumbo that Two Trees doesn't own, and that's including the artists. I even have an ankle bracelet. It explodes if I go anywhere near Bushwick. I'm supposed to help keep the neighborhood edgy and gritty, and, you know, in exchange, I get a basement studio that's like right next to the laundry room. It's normally like $4,500 a month, so pretty sweet.
I've been squatting here forever. And now you're telling me that I should have been getting paid to live here? I'm so poor that I go see the horse doctor instead of the people doctor. And the horse doctor told me that I got diagnosed with a horse fever from drinking in the creek.
Man, what creek?
The pipe over there.
Yeah, I suppose I've lost most of my artistic credibility by staying in Dumbo. After we lost Galapagos, the Arts Festival, the mighty Tanaka, calling myself a working artist in Dumbo doesn't really make sense anymore. I mean, where am I hanging out? Like, people ask me how I afford to live here, and I have to lie and tell them that my grandfather left me money. It's embarrassing.
And with all the tech startups in Dumbo, there are a lot of rumors going around that some of these local artists are actually robots developed by Two Trees. Yeah, it's a lot like that hit HBO show Westworld, except you can't actually shoot the artists. I mean, you know, this isn't the 1970s.
I'm no robot. I'm a real human person, and the only thing that confines me is this human body I'm stuck inside of. And if I could get out of this, believe me, I would in a second. But who's gonna put down a cute little horse like me?
Come to think of it, I probably am a robot. I haven't peed in ever. Like, if I were human, I would have peed by now, right? God damn it. This is how I find out?
Oh, I don't really mind selling out at the end of the day. I mean, they give me all the vintage t-shirts I want and a carton of American Spirits every week, and I get to keep 30% of everything I sell on my Etsy shop. So you like buttons? I make amazing buttons. How many can I put you down for? They're like, they're these really cool buttons. You can put them on your shirt. Yeah. You want any? No? You're good? Oh. Oh, okay. All right. Well, you take care. Y'all come back now. You hear? Come back to Dumbo.
When you think Red Hook, I know what you're thinking. IKEA. But let me tell you something. Once you've been around Red Hook long enough, you'll know that this neighborhood has so many more Swedish discount department stores. I mean, shit, my boy Ragnar, he's got the dope sectional couch for you. Probably hasn't even been sat on. And, I mean, come on, even if it has, he's got a great ass.
We got this bar, Sonny's. It's the greatest bar in the world. I don't really know why, but it's something everybody says. I know the memories of that place. This one time, well, I've only been there one time, but let me tell you this. The bartenders there, they'll give you drinks for money. No problem. No problem at all.
If there's anything I know about Red Hook, it's that we've got a lot of maritime-related industries. You just got to know where to look, okay? We've got seafood, we've got ports, we've got boats. The one thing I know for sure, though, is that none of us ever want to talk about Francine the whale.
Whoa, what the fuck are you talking about Francine for, man? You wanna die, motherfucker? Okay, that whale is not welcome here. Oh, I swear to God, if I see that whale walking down the street, I will commit a cold-blooded murder in broad daylight, and everyone will just have to deal.
Oh, no, we don't like Francine, no. No. Back in the day, the Manhattan Docks and the Red Hook Docks were in a competition with each other. So one day the Queen of England comes to town. She's gonna come dock here in Red Hook. We say, okay, come on. Then she shows up, but Francine shows up too. And the Queen says, I'm not going where a whale is, I'm going to Manhattan. So she goes to Manhattan, and the rest is history. Got my beer?
This is where the story gets a little bit fuzzy. Some people say it was the Queen of England. Some people say it was Napoleon. Some people say it was Genghis Khan. Some people say Francine is a giant shark. Some people say Francine is an octopus. Some people say Francine is some sort of cosmic Lovecraftian entity. What we can all agree upon is that we all hate Francine, and Francine deserves to die.
Oh man, one time during a baseball game, there was a whale and it came close to shore. Both teams stopped, dragged that whale onto shore, and beat it to death. Turns out it wasn't Francine, but I think they wanted to set an example.
Wait, a bunch of kids dragged a whale out of the ocean?
Well, no, it ended up being like a really big sea lion, but what can I say? They were a hell of a team. A hell of a team.
So legend has it that if you turn off your lights in the bathroom and say, Francine the whale 3 times into the bathroom mirror, she'll appear behind you and she'll stab your eyeballs out.
Wait, a whale will appear in your bathroom?
I got a big bathroom.
Yeah, but you're not saying it.
Well, if I said she could appear, 'cause I got a big bathroom.
How big is your bathroom?
It's bigger than the rest of my apartment.
Every year in August, we have the Feast of Francine Festival. It's a great time for the whole community to get together. We dress like mermaids, we dress like sea captains, we eat whale blubber. Technically, we don't eat whale blubber because it hasn't been allowed since the Depression. So we eat cat food. And you know what? I like the taste of cat food, so you don't hear me complaining about it at all.
Oh, we were gonna meet the Queen, and she was gonna knight all of us, and we were gonna eat turkey legs forever in King Arthur's courtroom. But then that dipshit Francine had to come along and spew rail jizz all over our dreams. We have been inviting the Queen for over a century. She probably thinks we did it on purpose. I feel so stupid. A real idiot.
Oh yeah, I know why she's called Francine. We want to give her a nice British name. That's a classic British name, Francine. But anyway, after that, no one ever came here, so it's depressing. That's why we drink so much. Is that what your documentary's about? Drinking problem?
The city was so embarrassed by what happened that they started tearing down our subway blocks brick by brick. And then they put a highway between us and the rest of Brooklyn. So, we was marooned. Anyway, eventually the IKEA ferry came along. I took it to Manhattan, first time going there in 30 years, and guess what? It sucks now. Where are the syringes? Where are the syringes?